Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is DFree, and for today's video we're going to talk about what you guys need to be re-rolling for in the game. So the game just came out a few days ago. I'm going to give you guys some of my top weapons and things to consider when it comes to those weapons, and basically what you guys should be looking forward to. Like if you start off the game and you're like, oh well, did I pull this 4-star weapon? Is this good? Should I pull for that one? Then this is the video for you. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Stick around for more content, and also check out the playlist down below in the description where you guys will find things like my team building guide and more Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Die Heroes Bond videos that I've uploaded on the channel. So the most important thing you guys need to know, and the first thing you need to know, is that these 4-star weapons that you're going to be pulling, they're not only this cool looking weapons or whatever. Obviously they have like their own passive traits that are active, but they also are tied to skills. You will not be getting these skills unless you get these weapons typically. Now obviously down the line that may change. The game just came out, so if you're watching this 6 months from now, right, maybe that changes. But that being said, there is a method to unlocking skills via like playing and stuff, but I haven't seen that for any special moves yet. Every character starts off with like generic special moves, but I'm not really going to talk about those that much. Those mighty moves or whatever, I'm not going to talk about those. But you're typically going 9 times out of 10, maybe 9.5 times out of 10 right now going to be getting these skills on these weapons, right? So you will need to pull these weapons to get these skills. You see here there's the Avon Strash for Die, there's Avon Sword, which does also Avon Strash. We saw the Bloody Scribe with Junko. There are a few more in here, a couple that I can't actually show you because you cannot see the information of them without actually literally owning them, and they are as follows. We go ahead and take a look at the actual weapons here. I do own the Knife of Papnika's Son from Die. I'll talk about that a little bit. I don't own the Avon Sword. I don't own the Vortex Axe. I do own the Lance. Everybody owns the Lightning Lance. You will start off with that. That is going to automatically come your way. I own Kafriz and the Magical Booster while not owning the staff here from Mom. So that's pretty much it. I own pretty much half of these. So, and then I do own Junko's Sword as well, which just came out. Anyways, so let's start off with Avon's Sword. So Avon is a character that I don't need to talk too much about the character individually because the weapons and stuff can be used outside of the character, but Avon's a character that is good for offense and defense. He likes to stay in the front row, sponge up damage and stuff like that. He guards a lot, so the trait was made for him, right? Raises the user's slash damage temporarily after every 3rd successful guard. There's a 20% chance to raise that guard, so he is going to be guarding a lot. He stays up there and does stuff like that all the time. So anyways, if you consider it from that perspective of using Avon specifically, then that's fine. You can also equip it on other characters like your own character, and you would still get the benefit of that. It's not specific to Avon, so it doesn't really matter. But anyways, a long-range attack over a small area that inflicts piercing physical slash damage has a chance to inflict feint on the target. I wish they would tell you what the chance of doing feint was. I don't know. I can't really see anything else here. Like this is all maxed out stuff. It has an imparted power buff of 30, which I don't believe you get imparted power buffs until you've completely maxed limit broken the weapon. I don't know, but you're not going to see that very often, so don't worry about that. The might is through the roof. All the stuff is through the roof because the weapon's been upgraded completely maximum for that little image that they're showing there. Same thing here. Actually, no, that imparted buff may not be on other weapons. It might just be on the Avon Sword, which is actually really good. Anyway, so yeah, Avon Sword is pretty good for what it is. Do I think it's the best one? No. I'm just gonna tell you right now very quickly, I rate Pop and Mom's weapons very highly. I do not own Mom's weapon, but her playstyle is such that I think that if you use her on every team like I do, if you pull her weapon, you will not regret it. She is not a character that is there to do damage. Her value is outside of the damage. She does a lot, and I mean a lot, of supporting and healing. So she's a character that, again, I put on literally every single team that I build. She is there. And the Staff of Glad Tidings does boost, I believe, her recovery rate. So that's going to help her a ton alongside the traits that she has as you start unlocking her board going forward. And I'm going to tell you right now, I use Pop all the time as well. Part of the reason why is because Pop does a crap ton of damage with the Kafriz spell, and with Kafriz what happens is at the end of every match pretty much that I do, he winds up being the top damage dealer. It shows you a recap of the battle, which character took the most damage, which one did the most damage to the boss, blah blah blah. Pop winds up being that character most of the time. So yeah, I rate those two staffs very highly. Now I want to briefly talk about the Lance. Lances are really good because the general range in this thing is really good in general. You start off with this though. Everybody has this. It's important to talk about it though because you may want to pull centered around other roles, right? Because maybe you don't want to have a bunch of sword users on your team only, because maybe you're not getting the support that you would want. Maybe you're not getting that stronger AoE spell-based damage, because the characters do have resistances. Like, you want to be flexible in your team builds and make sense, right? You don't want to have like freaking Crocodile, Avon, Dai, and your hero character all standing on the front line. Like, I mean, if you find success with that, sure, but that's not what you want to do. Ideally, that's not what they're wanting you to do, I guess, when they're building these characters. So obviously do what works for you best. But we're gonna now take a look at these skills, because in order to talk more about the weapons, I do need to talk about the skills that are tied to them, the special moves. So these are the ones that I don't own. Oh, will you let me see it? You're not gonna let me see it? Oh, lame. I want to see what it does. Oh, there it is. Cool. So it looks like this is the fully maxed out version of it, though. Yeah, it's fully maxed out. A long-range attack over a small area that inflicts piercing magical light damage and moderately restores HP for all allies. Oh, it has a heal built in while doing damage. Nice. It does one column, small cooldown refresh, can only be used on priests and mom. You get that from pulling her weapon. Here's the Beast King Redemption Blast. Short range attack over a wide area, striking 4 times with physical piercing strike damage. I'm ignoring the might and stuff because, again, it's completely maxed out. It's not accurate to what you guys would be starting off with. With physical piercing strike damage, has a high crit rate. So this move is a AoE hit. It is a it's a strike based element. It's interesting, actually pretty interesting, because you're not gonna see a ton of strike based things in this game right now. Right now your starter hero actually has like 1 skill that's strike based. It's not very common. I've got like pretty much all the skills. I'm missing a few, as you see. Like, I would love to get this one here. Raises allies physical damage and defense. It's like, if you can really build mom, she's a very good supporting character. So like, please work on her. Anyways, so last but not least, we can actually see this skill here one last time. Long range attack over a short period that obviously has a chance to inflict faint. So let's take a look at the special moves that I do own. And we'll start off with the Avon Strash for Dai. So a short range attack over a small area that pierces and inflicts physical slash damage. So it's about 1 to 2 spots directly in front of it. It says 1 space, but I feel like it has another space in front, but we'll see. I'm pretty sure it says the right thing, though. Just I'm skeptical for some reason. Anyways, very high might. This move, it's probably the single hardest hitting move in the game right now. You'll find that other moves can do more total damage because they'll be like AoE hits or whatever, but this is probably the single hardest hitting move in the game. Paired with the weapon, it's gonna be probably the hardest hitting just combination in the game, right? So do keep that in mind. Bloody Scrat is interesting because it has a built-in drain effect. I like this one a lot. I don't know the accurate read on how much damage it does because of the fact that it was bugged for a while and it was doing like 200 damage, which is like really low as you get to 10k power, where I'm currently at pretty much on my best teams. It's not very good. So it does have a built-in HP restoration of about 10%. So keep that in mind too, but very good as you get into harder content. It may also alleviate the need for having a character like Mom if you were to pull for Hunkel's sword and the bloody scried weapon as well. Like I said, I rate Pop very highly. In most cases, Pop winds up being the damage MVP for whatever content I'm playing. It just doesn't matter. Kafriz does a ton of damage. It hits pretty much everybody out there. Yeah, it hits all enemies. It literally says that within the range anyway, but the range is a wide area, so it's hitting pretty much everybody. And this one I'll talk about it very briefly. This is a very good skill to start off with. I think the lance weapon is going to get underrated by people. It hits a lot in a lot of ranges and a lot of people. It does a lot of damage to everybody. I don't need to say much more about it. It just hits pretty much everybody out there. Pretty much everybody out there. Lances have insane range. It's like always hitting everybody. So lance is just, it's a good weapon. So if you feel confident in the weapon and the fact that you own it, you know, you're good. So actually, let me just rate these very quickly. Like I said, I think Kafriz is the best one. I'm just gonna say it. I think Kafriz is very good. If I own Moms, I would rate that highly too as well. Like, I think those are some of the best ones you can own. If you're looking for more of a physical based one, I think that the utility of potentially getting the Faint with Alban is very powerful. The Beast King Redemption Blast is very good for a lot of the same reasons as your Lance move or your Frizz spell. Just the fact they're just wide ranges. They're very good at clearing those waves of enemies prior to the boss. Like, those are very powerful skills then. But from the content I've seen, unless there's like 4 waves, a lot of times you're not getting those skills, at least not yet in the gameplay I've had, until you get to the boss, or like right before you get the boss. Like, I don't know if you're going to use it there, but sometimes the bosses are also accompanied with a lot of enemies too. So I guess it kind of just depends on the content. Bloody Scribe does have that built-in about 10% regen effect or drain effect, whatever you want to call it. So good for that too. So I'm going to rate the spells highly though, just very highly, because I think they're very valuable in this game. And I think those characters are characters you guys should be using. Single target damage, I'm saying Dai is the best character for that, or his weapon is the best one for that. And then the utility of Bloody Scribe healing, and then also Avon's sword having the feint built in, while other utility options would be like the Beast King Redemption Blast, right? So definitely pull for the weapon spells and you're good. That's my opinion. And if you don't like spells, then I think Dai's weapon and the Bloody Scribe are the 2 to go for. And the thing is too, that if you plan on not having one of those characters, like say you don't like Hunkle or whatever, like I personally don't really love the Hunkle playstyle, for the record. You could still get that weapon and equip it on your character. And one thing that's cool about his weapon is it's very accurate to the series. And what happens is it actually completely covers your character. I actually can't. Oh no, there it is. It actually completely covers your character in his armor. So that's something that's really cool. Look. So you may want to get it just for that alone. It completely ignores whatever you're wearing. It's like really cool. Oh look, we both have it. So we're gonna wrap there. Thank you all for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Like I said down below in the description, you guys can check out the playlist and also the team building guide video that I did. And just to summarize very briefly, the spells are very powerful in my opinion. I love both of them. I don't own moms. I hope to pull it sooner than later. Hopefully in the future there's an easier way to get those skills, but the weapons are good regardless. Actually, let me see very quickly if there's a way to view the weapon the same way I could view the skills. Huh? No. The reason why it let me see the skills is because there was an acquire button. So I'm not seeing whatever I'm looking for here. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed the video, the thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Peace out, everybody.